What is the favorite bit of information you dug up in the course of your research?
A couple things. One is how carefully Ben Hogan prepared that famed one-iron shot. That was not his shot of choice. He would have rather hit a four-wood. But he practiced both, knowing that he would be completely unable to likely hit the four-iron, which required touch. The four-wood, which would require a real touch from him after playing 36 holes on a Saturday afternoon with his legs. He wouldn't be able to handle that. One iron he could hit into the hill hard, which he needed to do. That's a story that's never appeared. Another story that I kind of love is the story of Olin Dutra, who won the 1934 Open there. And Dutra was really sick. He developed some kind of amoebic dysentery on his way between California, where he lived, and the Open, and played just taking pills the whole way through. I mean, he was really sick. But once again, how preparation won him the Open. He had never played Merion before, had never seen Merion before, but he knew that the fairways were fairly tight. And at his home course, where he was the head pro in California, there were two trees about 30 yards apart down a fairway. And he would start out with 9 irons every afternoon in practice, hitting 9 irons, 8 irons, 7 irons, going back through his bag until he was hitting fairway woods and drives through that little opening, through those trees, 30 yards apart, knowing that this would be perfect preparation for Merion. My absolutely favorite story involves a woman named Dorothy Campbell Hurd, who was a Scotswoman who came to the United States in 1909, having just won the British Women's Amateur, and had won the Women's Amateur, then played at Merion on the previous course in Haverford, won it again the following year, married an American, moved to Pittsburgh, and kind of gave up competitive golf at the highest levels. In the early 20s, 1923, she decided she wanted to play competitive golf at the highest levels again. She had divorced, and she wanted to dedicate herself to the game. But she didn't think her game would hold up anymore. It was an old Scottish game. But she had learned the game from a gentleman named Ben Sayers, who was the head pro at North Berwick in Scotland. Ben's son, George Sayers, was the head pro at Merion. She came to George and said, "What can you do for me?" And George said, "I can break you down and build you back up, but it's going to require effort. It's going to require real concentration and dedication." Dorothy Campbell Hurd then moved from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia, became a member at Merion, and went out every day and practiced until at 40 years old, 41 years old, her hands were bleeding. She came up with an entirely new game, and in 1924 went to the Country Club of Rhode Island and won the U.S. Amateur at 41 years and 9 months, still the oldest winner of the U.S. Women's Amateur. There's a little side bit to that. Max Marston, who was a Merion member, was then the reigning U.S. Amateur champion. So in late September of 1924, when golf convened at Merion for the U.S. Amateur Championship, which would become Bobby Jones's first U.S. Amateur win, Merion had was the staging ground of the amateur. It had as its members the reigning men's amateur champion and the reigning women's amateur champion, and that's a one only in the history of American golf.